doesn't.
Okay, so today we're doing factoring. A is not equal to 1. The reason A is not equal to 1 is because if you remember yesterday, can you see this on the screen?
Yes. Yes, we got it.
We have ax squared plus bx plus c. And remember, A, you can't really see?
Not really.
I don't know what's wrong with it.
See blurry.
Oh, you can't see anything.
Not really, Matthew.
Okay, there it is.
Hey, remember, ax squared plus bx plus c, those all represented coefficients. So, on this first one, we're going to do window pane. I'm just going to make the marker a little bit bigger. Remember, the first step is to write our first term and our last term, 2x squared and negative 4. Then we draw a t-chart. On yesterday, all of our a's were 1. Today, we have an a of 2, so be careful when you do a times c because you're multiplying 2 times negative 4. And so the one we'll be finding the factors of is negative 8. And b is our middle term, which is negative 7x. So when we find the factors of 8, what are they?
1 and 8.
1
2 and 4.
and 2 and 4. Then remember the rules are whatever your first sign is, that is going to be your sign. So you're going to take the first sign, which is a negative, and a negative times a negative, our second sign is going to be a what? A positive. So one of our numbers will be a negative, one of them will be a positive. So since our b is negative, then I'm going to make the larger number the negative. Negative 8 plus 1 is going to be negative 7. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. And this is the one that matches up. So that means these are the terms that were combined to give us negative 7. Everybody got it? So we take 1x and negative 8x and write it in. And it doesn't matter how you write it, guys, but just know that sometimes it might not work the way that you do it. You'll have to maybe erase. And I'll do one to make sure to show you. Okay, so the factors of 2x squared are 2x and x, right? If, and don't write this, I wrote 2x here and the x there, because 2x times x is 2x squared, then nothing can be multiplied by 2 to get you to 1. So that tells me that I need to flip-flop those. So when you have a number there, sometimes the way you write it might not be correct. So the x will go here and the 2x will go up there. And so x times what will give you 1?
1.
X. 1x. And 2x times what will give us negative
4.
Negative 4. And so my factors are 2x plus 1 and x minus 4. Yes.
Does it matter if you put 8x?
It doesn't matter which one. I just said it doesn't matter how you put it. You choose however you want
I
it.
mean, like the negative sign on the like you put negative x.
It doesn't work like that. Negative 8 plus 1 is the only way you get negative 7. 8 minus 1 doesn't give you negative 7. Okay. Only ask questions if they really, really have serious questions, guys. Okay? That was a good question, but you can't change the sign. This is the only way you're going to get negative 7. You can flip-flop the position, but you can't change the sign. Everybody got it?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to do the same problem. But oh, I don't want to erase it. Using the district method. And since it's the same problem, I'm going to keep the same t-chart. So we have the same exact problem, we're just using the district method. Remember, the district method is to take this middle term and we're going to break it down, right? We already solved for it in number 1, same problem. So we know the only way we're going to get negative 7 is by having a negative 8 and a positive 1. It's the only way. So we have 1x and negative 8x. Then what was the next step? Drop everything else down. So we bring down the 2x squared and we bring down the negative 4. Then remember the next step after that was to put parentheses around the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms. Then what's the next step after that?
Extract the common.
Yes, pull out the GCF. What do they have in common?
The x.
an x. So we pull out an x, and that leaves us with
2 plus 1.
2x plus 1. And then what's the common factor in this one?
Oh, negative.
We could pull out a -4, and that leaves us with
2x minus 1. Or
We
plus
pull out a
1.
-4, so 2x plus 1. Everybody got that? Remember, this is a way that you check if your parentheses are identical. That's the first part of your answer, 2x plus 1, and it doesn't matter which position you write it in. And then the next part of the 2 GCFs, so x and -4 will be the second parentheses, x minus 4. And it's the same thing we got when we just did the previous problem. We just did the same problem using the district method and the same one using the window pane. Everybody got that? Any questions?
No.
Okay, let's look at number 3. This is a mistake. That's not supposed to be there. The problem's 3x squared minus x minus 4. Try this one on your own using your own method, whichever one you choose. At this time, pause the video and try it out on your own. Okay, somebody tell me what they got.
Parentheses 3x minus 4 times x plus 1.
Okay, I'll show you in the window pane.
It's x plus 1.
Oh, x what?
Plus 1.
Plus 1, okay. So you should have had 3x squared here and -4 down there. When you did your t-chart, remember you're multiplying a times c. So in this case, 3 times -4, you're finding the factors of -12. And your middle term should have been -1x. So the factors you found were 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. The first sign was a negative, and a negative times negative is a positive. So one of your numbers is negative, and the other one is positive. Subtract those two, you get -11, -4, and -1. So the third one is the one that works. So then 3 and -4 will go in the parentheses. I mean, not in the parentheses, in the box. So we have 3x and -4x. If you chose to write the -4 down here and the 3x up here, is that okay?
Yes.
Yes, it just means your factors will be on opposite sides. So then we break down 3x and 3x squared, and what are the factors of 3x squared? 3x and x. If you write the 3x right here, you notice that there's no way you're going to get from 3 to -4. So I'm going to write my 3x up here, and I'll write my x right there. X goes into -4x. -4 times x times -4 is -4x. And then 3x times what will give us 3x? 1. And so that's how we got 3x minus 4 and x plus 1 as the factors. So this is just a guess and check, just figuring out what position it goes in.
Wait.
Got it?
Wait. No, then shouldn't be.
Jovic.
No, that's right. Moving along, we're videoing. If you lost, take a second to look at it. Let's look at number 4. We draw a window pane. We have our first term and our last term. Did you figure it out? What have you lost at?
Here, like, shouldn't it be 3x plus 1 times x minus 4? Because.
Okay, so we do our t-chart. And a times c, 2 times 3 is going to be 6. Our middle term is 4x. Factors are 6, so 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. Both of our signs are going to be what? Positive. What's 1 plus 6?
7.
And 2 plus 3? 5. Does anything work?
No.
What's the answer?
Prime.
Let's stop with the extras. Thank you. All right. Number 5. Pay close attention to number 5. We notice we have large numbers, so what should be the first step?
GCF.
GCF.
I mean that.
And the GCF is 2. 2 is the only number that can go into all 3 terms. So if we divide it all by 2, then we're left with 9x squared plus
18x.
18x minus
18.
16. And that's as low as we can go. So now we're going to factor what's in the parentheses. So draw your box. We have 9x squared, negative 16. We're going to draw our t-chart. And in this one, when we multiply a times c, it's pretty large numbers because we have 9 times negative 16, which is going to be what? Negative 144. And b, our middle term is 18x. Everybody got that? When breaking down the negative 144, make sure you use a little common sense. If you use just a little common sense, just making sure that's great. 1 and 144, is that going to get us to 18?
No.
No. So the smaller numbers are going to be nowhere near getting us to 18. So we're going to skip down a few. Can 4 divide into 144?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please don't guess. Use a calculator and call out correct
4
numbers.
and 36.
Thank you. 4 and 36 can go into it. Can 5 divide into 144? Can 6 divide into 144?
24.
6 times 24. Can 7 go into 144?
No.
Can 8 go into 144?
Yes, 18.
8 and 18. And let's stop right there and check these. You can keep going if you want, but you got to think logically when you do this. Okay, our first sign's a positive. Positive times a negative is a
Negative.
negative. So one of our numbers is going to be a
Negative.
negative. What's 36 minus 4?
32.
24 minus 6.
18.
And 18 minus 8 is 10. This middle one is the one that matches, so these are the two terms we're using. Negative 6 and 24. Everybody got that? You can write it wherever you choose. All it means is that some of you might have things in different positions, but you still should have the same answer. I'll just write the negative 6 here, negative 6x, and 24x up here. Now this is where it becomes slightly tricky. We're breaking down 9x squared, right?
Yes.
But 9 has more than one factor. You can use 1x and 9, 1 times 9 is 9, or you can use what?
3x.
3 times 3. And so if 3 times 3 doesn't work, then you try 1 times 9. If that doesn't work, you can flip it and see if that works. Don't be quick to mark prime on the problem. It's not always prime. Try all your options first. So which factors of 9x squared do you want to use first?
3x and 3x.
Okay, so 3x times 3x will get us 9x, right? What's 24x divided by 3x?
8x.
8. And then negative 6 goes into 3 how many times? A negative 2. And so this one ends up working out. Everybody got it? So our final answer is, can you see this on the tape if I write right here? Negative 2, not negative 2. The GCF is positive 2 times 3x minus 2, this first one, and then 3x plus 8. Any questions? Try the last one on your own. Be careful with the last one. It has 2 variables. In this problem, it should have had a plus sign right there. A plus sign is missing. You should have wrote your problem. A times B, you would have had 12. The middle term is 7xy. 1 and 12 gives us 13. 2 and 6 gives us 8. And 3 and 4 gives us the 7xy. So this is the one that worked when you worked it out. You should have wrote 3xy and 4xy. Be careful when you transfer it here, because since it has 2 variables, you would have put xy behind both of them. And then when you broke it down, 2x and 3x, 2x times this is going to give you 2y. We have to bring the y in order to incorporate both variables. And to get 3xy, 3x times y. So the answer would have been 2x plus y and 3x plus 2y. Got it?
Yes.
I'll zoom out so you can see. Oh, pull it up. And that should have been your final answer. Got it. Pause it if you need to rewind and go back. And start working on your handout.